The sounds of Miles Davis. How long have you been doing it, and how did the idea come about?
How long has it been? A good year?
It's been over
2
a
years?
year.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Time flies.
2 years, I think.
When you're swinging. We're influenced by the original, the ways that they originally played these songs.
Okay, right.
So we try to not exactly copy it, not try to duplicate it, but like use some of those qualities. As
a template.
How much freedom is there between everyone? Is there like a fair amount of rehearsal, or is it charted?
When you have high caliber musicians, it comes together because they know what they're doing. This is all we all speak the same language and the same vocabulary of jazz. And Miles did that on the Kind of Blue album. He came in and gave everybody the lead sheets and said, "Let's do it," and he was counting on their what they had to offer, and it came together. So and as he said, when you put high quality musicians together like the best, it'll work. And we do know certain tunes what exactly we want to do, or I've transcribed certain harmonies for the tenor sax, so it has that same sound, and things like that are always going to be consistent. So we do have like a book, the charts that we did put together.
Because there is always a certain vibe that you're hearing a little bit, almost as bits of the record. You always hear rather than there's a bunch of guys up there noodling.
Well, and most of the arrangements, are lifted from the record version. Talking about heads and arrangements in terms of the form, and not necessarily solo order per se, but
some of those intros, that you wouldn't find on a lead sheet. What we call the real book. It's not there. So we taking the time to write those out.
As an example, take the tune "So What."
Out of all the jazz players, and there's a lot of great jazz players, say from the Silver Age, the late 40s all the way to the mid 60s. It's the period we're mostly focused on. Mm-hmm. Why Miles Davis as opposed to other ones? Like we were talking about Art Blakey with other ones.
There's a lot of great artists that we could have chosen from, and we did bounce a lot of other ideas, like Art Blakey you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But I just think we just felt that I had a personal, I grew up totally listening to Miles Davis as he did, and I read his autobiography 5 times, and so he had a big effect on my musical development. I was always impressed with the way that he was never content with what he was playing. Most musicians, and there's nothing wrong with this, but they have the same style their whole lives, but Miles never did. He was always changing the music, and you could say that he single-handedly created, multiple subgenres of jazz. So there's a lot of, with this group, we're definitely not pigeonholed into certain hits. There's so many things we can do, and different styles of jazz that we can do. Different periods. Cool, hard bop, and, modal, and whatever, fusion, all sorts of things.
And you've come all the way up into the 70s with some of his stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we
that's to make sure we're all
don't do as much of the fusion, but we do one or two.
Right.
Yeah.
Those. Yeah.
Right. What is the basic goal of doing this, other than the love of playing the music, to get it together so formally, and then, like I say, over a 2-year period, play a fair number of shows, and then you want to continue on playing indefinitely? So where would you like to play, and why? What's the goal here?
It's a good question.
Where wouldn't we want to play?
You can do a performance, and you could do that, say, for an older audience in a club situation, and people go there because that's what they want to hear.
Sure.
But you think we can also do this. You take the same act, bring it to a university, and you can actually stop during it.
When you're a jazz student at university, they bring in clinicians and people who do master classes and groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the students to be able to rub shoulders with the pros, who are doing it.
I had some great experiences in college with that. Yeah. When we get to do something just that's pure jazz, kind of back to the roots, the things that I did do in college, it's very blissful. But on the same token, this is an opportunity for us to expose other people to a little bit more sophisticated music. Perhaps you could say, kind of hip them to alternative things they wouldn't normally listen to. So sometimes if we can get people there where it's a new experience, they might become a jazz lover. What does that mean? Well, in my opinion, that really raises society up a little bit. You know, the more people, you know, we can
keeps the IQ floating.
Anytime we can, any kind of art, you know, any kind of all the arts, you know, if they can be exposed to the people more and more, you know, I think culture is enriched by that.
Oh,
so
I agree.
I think that's to me that's an important part of it as well. And I've heard this my whole career. People happen to come to some sort of jazz concert and they go, I would never, man, that was amazing. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I never would have come here on my own. I would have been scared away if I saw the advertisement. Never would have been interested. Yeah. But for whatever reason, they came, and wow, you know, now they're a fan.
They're open.
And I feel that jazz has that element where if we can put it in front of the people, they really dig it. Teresa got us into a place called Container Park, which you would never see a jazz group in there. It was just kind of, I think, your typical, just, you know, whatever, sit and watch and have a good time, and the kids run around.
Yeah, that's in downtown.
And it was
Vegas.
rainy. Yeah, downtown Vegas. It was even overcast. Like we were worried about raining, and it was packed the whole time we played. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. It was a great show.
It was great. We thought for sure we were going to scare them out of there.
Yeah. Right. And there's like families.
No vocals. No vocals at all.
People who you never think would stick around for something like that, you know, actually stayed, and
3 sets.
And they were really impressed and really into it.
You're open to just taking this anywhere. So colleges around the U.S.
Yeah.
You could go to Europe if the opportunity came up. Japan.
Sure. Absolutely, Japan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Absolutely.
Everybody listening to that out there?